Alright, I wanted to make this video here to give an explanation of why I put the Saving the Horses project at $15,000. Okay, this is, I know people say, well, that doesn't, they look it up and they say, well, that doesn't cost that much. Now, wait a minute. If you look up this base, just the van here, just this part right here, where I got the arrow on, that part is going to be around $8,000. All right, the wheels and everything. Now, for hydraulic brakes, which is this little part, let me get the arrow over here. That little part right there, plus the hydraulic lines, is another $450. So we're up to about $8,500. Shipping is around $1,500 to $1,600. So we're already up to $10,000. That's how quick this stuff adds up, okay? So just this basic thing here with some minor stuff is going to be around $10,000. Now, this shows a team of horses. This van here is small enough, one horse can pull it. That's why Cleo, the horse I got, she's already 15 hands. She's going to probably finish growing to about 15.2 by the time she's 3 years old. So she will be plenty heavy enough. She'll be over a 1,000-pound horse, and she'll be heavy enough to pull this wagon. And it's going to be mostly on flat ground anyway, so it's going to be like nothing to her. I mean, she pulls 400 pounds now like it was nothing. I mean, she can take off with 400 pounds and not even know it's there. So, a 1,000-pound vehicle with me in it, okay, 1,500 pounds, it's going to be like nothing to her. Alright, so, anyway, that's, you know, the brakes, and that's one addition. Okay, that's just an addition. Now, in order to add lighting and some accessories to this, we're going to put solar panels on top. Those solar panels are going to run about $1,200. I'll do all the wiring myself. Figure 2 batteries in there, 2 deep cycle batteries, another couple of $100. Right. So we got the van here at approximately 1,100 and or 1,200, not 1,200, 1,100 and 11.2. Okay, $11,200. Now, let's move to the harness. These harnesses, to get one made of quality, because, you know, nobody's going to want to advertise with somebody going down the road with a cheapo-looking, dirty harness. So, figure a collar, stainless steel, Hanes on it, and all like that's going to run around another $1,200. So we're already up to about $12,500 on this. So we got $12,500. And yes, I upped it to $1,500 because I always know there's something that's going to go wrong. It's Murphy's Law, so I added an extra couple of $1,000 in there for something's going to go wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to add in a used horse hauler that I can hook to the back of my pickup truck. There's a couple of grand right there. So we've only got about $500 to play with then. See what I mean? How it adds up? And you say, well, what do you need a horse trailer for? You just drive your horse to town. Okay? If we use this as a job, it will be stored in a storage building, a garage-sized storage building in the city limits. And if you're working a horse for 6 hours a day to haul this around town, you want that horse to be fresh when it gets there. So, at the end of the day, you unhook her from all this, you know, back it into the garage in town or the storage building, load the horse in the trailer, take it home, feed it, let it loose in the pasture to run loose. Next morning, you get up around 7 o'clock, feed the horse a good hydration meal, you know, with a lot of a moist meal so it gets lots of liquid in it. And, you know, you put the, what do they call it, electrolytes and everything in its feed for the morning. so it has plenty of salt and everything to sweat out. You know, get it in a trailer. By 8, you drive to town. It's going to take another 30 minutes just to harness it up and everything else. And you take off, say, just after 9 o'clock, just after the rush hour is over. And you proceed to go all over town for 6 hours till about 3 o'clock, just before the next rush hour starts. At which time, you go back to the building, put the horse away, take it back to the farm, turn it loose, you know, feed it another meal of less carbs, because at night you don't want to give it a lot of carbs because it's rest time. You know, you would give it at that time. You would give it its supplements of glucosamine and, you know, calcium and stuff like that, and let the horse relax overnight, sleep, whatever. And you know, that's when you would also give it its protein, a higher protein supplement, and less carbs. Okay, maybe some fat. You could squirt some walnut oil, olive oil mixture into the feed. Not much, maybe about 2 or 3 tablespoons. A couple of eggs in their feed, which the eggs makes their coat really glowy and shiny. And then, you know, let the horse out to pasture for the night. Right? And then you start the routine all over again the next day. So when people say, well, $15,000, that's a lot of money. Not really. Not when you're going to do something like this. Now, the advantages is this, which somebody else told me about it. When this works, you know what? You're not only giving the horse a job, you're getting me off of disability. And when this works, and I get another one of these, in other words, I'll use every bit of the money that this thing makes to get a second one. If I can get a second one and get a second horse trained, we'll go, if there's enough market in my town, we'll run 2. If not, we'll go to another town close by, and we'll start a second operation. And then I guarantee I'll hire somebody that's on disability that wants to get off. Because if you look at this guy here, this is what they do for probably 5.5 hours of the day. It's basically kind of like being a truck driver. You don't do much, you know, other than putting the harness on, backing the horse up, hooking it up, and you're sitting there like that. Now, the solar panels on there are also for lighting. In the summertime, you could run a fan. You know, it's nice to have a little fan or breeze blowing on you, especially on the back of your head when, you know, all you're smelling is horse poop coming the other way. So a fan, a radio, you know, you can listen to the news and stuff like that. So that stuff would be kind of minor. The solar panels this is a 4 by 8 foot roof. So you're talking right here, 1, 2, 3. Probably 3 solar panels of 125 watts each. So you'll be generating, on nice sunny days, about 325 watts of power, which will be put into the batteries that probably go under the driver's seat, or maybe build a box underneath this whole wagon to keep the center of gravity low, which would make the wagon also more stable. If you put a battery box that hung down underneath this wagon here, give it a much lower center of gravity and much more stable. Anyway, that's where the money's going to go. I mean, it's not as cheap as you might think, but if you look at the pictures way down below in the GoFundMe site, you'll see those big billboards that those trucks pull around, and those big billboards cost $100,000. So when you look at $15,000 versus $100,000, you can see this is a much more efficient way for a rolling billboard to work. There's just no comparison as far as the efficiency and cost of using horsepower for a rolling billboard.